I've always been a big believer that sometimes if you're going to rediscover yourself or discover yourself, you need to be in an environment where you've not already been painted into a box, because there are so many pressures around us to live up to a certain expectation of who people believe we should be. My name is Yemi Amusan. I tell people who are interested in listening that I'm presently in my 4th incarnation. I've been an artist, a medical doctor, a pastor, and right now I work as an event management consultant. But while I was in medical school, I used to do quite a lot of artwork. I used to make a lot of banners, and that was basically what I'd use for a source of income. I asked myself the question, what does a red blood cell call itself? And question quite obviously is it doesn't call itself anything, because a red blood cell does not speak. It occurred to me that the red blood cell is labeled because of what it does, not because that is what it has chosen to call itself. And what that sort of told me was that we actually have the freedom to be whatever we want to be without being limited to the labels that are already existing that we feel we have to fit into.
Dr. Yemi Amusan is very important to a project like this, not just because of what he does in terms of the industry that he plays in, which is events, but who he's been and how influential he has been to my life as a person. He was a pastor with House on the Rock, and for those of us who attended that church growing up, the things that he said really shaped the person for me, the kind of person that I've become today. So there probably would be no audiobook or the confidence to even put together such a project if it wasn't for the teachings of such a person. But beyond that, I mean, he's done amazing stuff in the events industry, and I thought it was important to have him on the project.
I think that this particular book project is unique in that it's looking to incorporate the mediums that young people are familiar with and comfortable with as a way of giving or using that as the vehicle to transport or convey the information that they actually need to hear right now. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. All right. While there is nothing wrong with rules, standards, and benchmarks, they are fundamentally flawed because they don't take into cognizance your natural abilities or the challenges you have to deal with to get from point A to B. First and foremost, embrace the reality that you are nobody. And don't be ashamed of being nobody, because Being a nobody gives you the opportunity to make as many mistakes as are required on the route to becoming somebody. Once you recognize that you need to grow, then you have to also recognize that there are things that are required for you to grow. Who you were yesterday has a bearing, but is not as significant as who you are now and who you can be tomorrow.
What does this take so far sound like to you?
Well, fantastic, yeah.
Okay, what I'll say is this.
It's been a great experience. One of the things that I think makes or breaks a project, especially one as interactive as this, is the chemistry of the team, the composition, the kinds of personalities behind. And we've had a lot of laughs. Kehinde from the director's point, Remy, voice coach, Onye behind the camera. Definitely I have to give a big shout out to Naomi. She's one of the people that is in the trenches, on the front line. I'm not hiding behind a glass corporate office. Not that she couldn't do that, but has actually chosen to go out to begin to deal with the issues where the issues really are. And for me, it's just a privilege and a blessing to be involved in something like this. My name is Yemi Amusan, and you're listening to I'm a Graduate, Now What?
Good.